Hi, welcome back to the Arcade Repair Tips video series. Today we're going to talk about arcade game lighting. But before we do, I want to say a very special thank you for those of you who contributed to our high definition fund. You might notice we're now shooting in high def, so hopefully that looks really good on your computer monitor. Now why you'd want to look at me in high definition, I have no idea, but maybe when we zoom in and we take very particular parts of games, that will help you out some. But anyway, thanks again for your contributions, and we really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy this video today. Now, when I talk about lighting, I know that seems pretty basic, but some of you guys aren't sure what kind of bulbs to use, so on and so forth. But we're going to look at a few different types today, and maybe we'll get you started in the right direction. The first game that we're going to do today is the marquee light. Now, I've already removed the top. Most marquees just have some screws that you remove. Then you'll take off, like on this one, you'll take off this plate, remove the plexiglass or the marquee. Then you can get down to the light. Now this is a newer type light that we've installed. We buy most of our lights from twistedquarter.com. I want to thank you guys for the work that you do and for the parts that you provide. But today we're going to look at this one. Now you can start off real simple. Now we could get a meter out, check the bulb, we have a tester and all that kind of stuff, but you know, if you got more than one game, it's pretty simple. Just try the bulb and make sure it works. Okay, so a lot of times you'll get lucky just by changing out the bulb. So we're just going to slide the bulb in. I know most of you guys probably know how to do this, but if not, you just put it in, then you turn it. Now we're going to turn the game on. Hey, we got lucky today. Okay, that's not always the case. A lot of you may have this older style. I think this one come out of a Pac-Man game, and well, it's kind of broken, but what you'll notice is there's a transformer here, and then there's what's called a starter. You twist this and take it out. Now, if your bulb is good, like you got a brand new bulb, you put the bulb in, and yours has a starter like this. If it's a FS2, kind of looks like a big capacitor. You might try, you can get these Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store, but you might try to change the starter. What the starter does is kind of does what it says. It starts the bulb. Fluorescent bulbs don't always come on. You guys have all seen them kind of just pop on real quick, kind of flitter, and then they pop on. Well, that's what the starter does. So if you have this older style that has a starter, you put in a new bulb, and it doesn't work, we'll try the starter. Now if that doesn't work, it starts getting in the transformer, yes, you can fix all that. You can go through a lot of trouble, but for $7 you can also go to Walmart, or for $10 you go to twistedquarter.com. You get a whole new light fixture. Yes, this kind has a starter and everything in there. It just looks different from the old school ones that we're used to seeing. And we like to make these new ones really look bright when they're lit up. As you can see, they have a really good projection. Anyway, next thing we're going to look at is like coin lights or button lights, what they call a miniature lamp. Now as you can see, these didn't come on. So this one even looks burnt. Most of the time you can tell there's like some little squiggly lines and stuff in there, like looking at a light bulb. If you look at it, a lot of times you can tell if it's blown. Not always, but most of the time. So we know this bulb is good. Don't collect bad bulbs unless you're going to go in there and fix it. Don't have them around. Don't put them back in your toolbox. Throw them in the trash. So now that we know, but you say, well, what kind of bulb do I put in? Well, there's two types that arcade games use a lot. That would be a 555 or a 161. Now, what do I mean by these numbers? When you go to the hardware store, wherever you, Bob Roberts, wherever you buy your bulbs from, you'll see numbers, and they're numbered like 70, 40, 73s, 47s, 44s. A lot of different bulbs have different wattages and different voltages. So if you're unsure about what kind yours takes, well, before we get too technical, let's be real simple. If the bulb you put in there is super bright, you probably got too low a wattage of bulb. If it's really dim, then you probably got too high a wattage and you need to go down. But most of them operate off of either 6 or 12 volts. Well, now that you've gotten some of our other videos down, you've gotten pretty comfortable with the multimeter, it's a good time to get out, turn the meter on DC voltage, because this is direct current coming straight from the motherboard or your power supply. And all we have to do is there's 2 leads or 2 wires going straight to the bulb. Each light has 2 wires that are going to it. One is a common or ground, the other one is your hot. What you want to do is put 1 meter on one wire and one on the other terminal, and I'm reading 12 volts. So the fact that I'm reading a 12 volts means that I want to use a 161. If I'm reading closer to a 5 volt, then you need to use a 555. Now we'll make you a chart on the post so that you can go and see the common game bulbs that are used and what voltage. So all you really need to worry about is what voltage is coming from the game or from the power supply. Well, since this is 12 volts, then I can use a 161. Now as you can see, it lights up. We snap the holder back in. There's our coin light lit up. You also may have a game that has a lighted push button. Well, what you want to remember about those is you either turn or pull them out, depending on what kind it is. You'll have 2 wires going to the switch and 2 wires going to the light. Now sometimes the wires get all mixed up and you're not sure which wires go where. Always remember, read it with your meter. The voltage wires will be going to your light. You don't want to run voltage up to a push button unless the game is requiring that. Well, that about wraps up today's video on arcade lighting. Be sure and check the post for the types of bulbs that you may need in your game. By all means, if you have any questions or comments, just give us a call or give us an email. And thanks again for watching Arcade Repair Tips video series, now in high def.